Scott Joplin's the entertainer. Scott Joplin's the entertainer. Scott Joplin's the entertainer. Welcome to Pink Floyd, the podcast where we watch every film ever made to see if it syncs up to Pink Floyd's 1973 magnum opus, The Dark Side of the Moon. My name is Gareth Blackler, and with me is James Barron.
Hello, Gareth. It's me, James Barron. I'm here. I enjoyed that intro. It's like, I don't know if it was in reference to anything, but I do love Scott Joplin and his song, The Entertainer.
Well, it actually was in reference to something, because I don't know if you've seen 1973's The Sting.
What? I have.
But, no way, when did you watch it?
Like years ago for the first time.
Oh.
It's like a childhood movie for me. I think my grandparents introduced me to it, like a long time. It was like one of the DVDs that they had. That was like suitable for kids to watch. You know, I think it's like a fairly kid-friendly movie.
Yeah, there's nothing untoward really.
Nah, but yeah, that's when I first watched it. But also, most recently, I watched it 2 days ago. So,
were you listening to anything strange while you watched it?
Nothing that I wouldn't normally listen to when watching a movie, so...
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah. only the finest magnum opus I can find, you know? The closest one to hand. Anyway.
Oh, yes.
What did you... Anyway, we'll just dive in. What did you think of The Sting, Gareth? 1973.
The Sting?
Yeah, that film.
I bloody loved it. I had never seen it. I think you had tried to show it to me once before because I remembered Kid Twist.
Yes.
His name?
Yep. Great
Is that
character
ringing
name.
a bell? Do you remember putting it on at any point?
I may have put it on at like when we lived together, possibly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I do really like this movie. Like like I say, it's one from my childhood, so there's no doubt I would have tried to put it on at some point, but hey.
And I was just batting it away like an ungrateful child.
It's alright, Gareth. You're one of my boys. It's fine. You'll always be one of my boys. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, but we've got to dive in. I just want to specify before, if you've not seen The Sting, this is a movie that definitely can be spoiled.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you... I don't never get in a spoiler warning before on the show, but I feel like I should for this one. It's a good movie, and you should see it. And there's a reason that we're saying that there's spoilers. So spoilers ahead for the show.
Because what's your relationship with spoilers? Because often people will spoil a TV show or something, and I'll be like, oh, that actually has made me more interested in watching it. Like, you mean main character does this, or this kind of weird thing happens?
I've had that happen as well, but it's only ever I'll only ever have that reaction if I haven't been super invested in watching the show to begin with. If it's if I was it passed me by and someone said something about it that spoiled it, I'd be like, oh, okay, that maybe is worth a look. That could be cool. But by the same token, I feel like some things shouldn't be spoiled. You know, you shouldn't. If I heard, if someone had told me the spoilers of The Sting, I think I'd probably be upset by that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, spoilers ahead.
And I will say The Sting is a movie that the second watch is so good because I watched it without the Floyd and then with the Floyd.
Yeah.
And knowing everything that's it's setting up for and being as in the knowledge as the characters is such a good feeling.
It's it's definitely a good one for that kind of rewatch. I feel like it's sort of like a proto Ocean's 11 in a way. In that once you know the twist bit of it, you can follow along with different eyes. Similar kind of vibe. There's other movies that are similar, but I don't want to spoil that there's a twist in them, which I guess is also a spoiler. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. But yes, it's definitely good on the rewatch. I'm glad you had a double good experience with that. Double plus good with the old Floyd the second time around.
I had some weird watches though. The first time I watched it clean, I fell asleep because I was in bed and it was very warm, and this movie is just so lovely. It's like a warm bath.
It's true. It's a very slow build kind of following along a fairly simple story. There's no big big explosions or crazy events really that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just following these characters and their plot, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, fair enough. I don't blame you for that one. It's a very comfortable.
There's nothing
movie.
against it. I've only fallen asleep in movies and TV shows that I want to watch.
Oh,
The
interesting.
rest of them, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to keep my brain occupied enough to like not.
I don't think I've ever fallen asleep in a movie. Oh, I must
No
have
way.
done. Like at like movie number 4 of a movie night or something.
Yeah.
That's almost I feel like I have, but I wouldn't be able to name the movie because I would have been asleep.
I remember. I think you and I saw the Tom Hardy film Legend together.
Did we? Oh my god!
so.
I don't remember that at all.
2015. About the Cray brothers. Is it called Legend? Who's to say?
I don't know.
But
I'd rather
I
be
remember-
asleep.
Yeah, well, I remember like not enjoying it and distinctly like trying to get comfy enough in the cinema chair to fall asleep. I was like, I can get my money back on a sweet nap,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen.
Dang it! Bloody Legend. At it again. But we aren't here
Take
to
the
talk...
Legend challenge, listeners.
Can you fall asleep in this? I love that energy. But we aren't here to talk about bloody Legend, Gareth.
No,
No.
we're here to talk about some legendary performances.
Yes. I do remember this trip to Legend now. I'm coming back. It's coming back to my mind.
I think we are here to talk about Legend.
Yeah, never mind. Screw this podcast. Let's just talk about that trip to see Legend.
No.
no.
Friday night. I had to post a letter before we went.
Oh yeah, that's why. That's classic Gareth pre-cinema antics. Just got this one really weird errand I have to run before we go. I love it.
Okay, speaking of one really weird errand.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for my Pink Floyd watch. It's Tuesday night.
Okay.
And I watched my first entire album run through of this movie while donating blood on Tuesday night.
What? How? That's bizarre. Where? Like at a blood drive somewhere, or like?
Yeah, at a blood bank at New Zealand Blood. I just rocked up, answered all the questions, sat down, they plugged me in, I got my laptop out, and I just
Oh wow.
watched 43 minutes of the Sting.
Sick. Did they have to did you have to explain to anyone what it was that you were doing?
No.
Oh, thank God. There's some very confused blood nurses there. Amazing. Oh, I love that energy. Oh, I'll keep that in mind for this first playthrough of the album as we dive into our discussion. So movie starts up with typically its iconic play of the Entertainer, which plays throughout the movie multiple times, and in general the old ragtime jazz here. But we're getting Speak to Mo. Bit of Captain Kim at the start here. No, yeah, the Entertainer. A great piece of music, and I think it fits the movie really well. If we were hearing it. But hey, we can, and the opening titles are all hand painted. The opening title thing is hand painted, but it's all also very 70s at the same time, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I do like that they introduce it like it's a play. We get the players here at the start with all the main characters appearing on screen.
Yeah, super helpful as well. When I started when I picked up my first watch after waking up, I watched the opening credits again to be right, got it.
Here are all the characters. Yeah, and it is actually pretty complicated in terms of there are a lot of moving parts to the story and a lot of different character names.
Yes.
Which are tough to keep track on. The key ones to remember are Henry Gondorf, who is Paul Newman's character, master big con artist guy. Johnny Hooker, who's we start the film with and is the up and coming con artist guy. Played by
Redford.
Yeah, Robert Redford. And Robert Shaw plays Doyle Lonergan, who's the baddie in this.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you may know.
I was so happy to see him.
Yeah, you may know him from Jaws,
yes.
delivering a fantastic speech in that. Great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing super Irish in this movie, which is very enjoyable. But yeah, that's the key ones to remember going forward.
Yeah. The only error is once you see a character in this named Kid Twist, it's impossible to remember anything else you've just heard.
It's true, yeah. Kid Twist steals the show in a lot of
Oh,
ways.
yes.
But yeah, we're gonna get to him. We get the setting here, Joliet, Illinois. Is when it starts, 1936. It's the end bit of the Great Depression, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're between world wars here, and yeah, we're in the middle of Illinois, and we start the movie out. We're just following some like random people who weren't in the opening credits. We're following like some like unknown dude to like a collections agency or something.
Yeah.
And there's like numbers being shouted around by all these people, and it's all very hectic. And the guy has to like deliver some money is what his job is. He's got like $10,000 on him or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all getting pretty hectic, and then On the Run starts playing as soon as he heads off, and we get this first like little con sequence playing out here.
Yeah, perfect that it kicks in when the con is on.
Yeah, the con is on, baby. I love that. Yeah, it's like a little fake robbery taking place where there's a guy who's been mugged, and another guy who appears to be a bystander who throws the briefcase at him, which is our boy Johnny
Such a cool
Hooker.
move.
Yeah. And yeah, like convinces this guy to like take his money because he needs to make a drop off. Luther does, the black guy here. But he's like faking like a leg injury effectively. And yeah, like handing off a package to him and like teaching him to stuff it down his pants, which is where the switch of the money occurs.
Yeah.
Bloody clever switch.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah, like the guy runs off, like thinking he's made off with like an easy $5,000 that he's stolen from Luther. So it turns out like this dude's a baddie. Like,
Yeah.
he would have just stolen $5,000 from someone who asked like for his help. So we don't have to feel that bad that he gets scammed.
He also like they really telegraph it because he's like walking into the into his office and he's like being really rude to the other people there and like kind of sexist, and I was like, oh, I hope he's not a hero.
Yeah.
And then oh no, the con was on.
Yeah, he
him.
is actually. Yeah, he's like makes some like weird advances to like the receptionist there and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Could be chalked up to the time period where, like, and that most men were doing that at the time, and
That's true.
And that sucks. But you know, so it goes in 1936. But yeah, like we don't have to feel that bad for him. But yeah, he figures out that he's been conned, and we see our boys running away, very happy.
Oh yeah. We get the big on the run crash as he kind of like realizes the con was on. I'm just going to keep saying the con is on because you reacted well to it.
Yeah, the con was on, and yeah, they got him. They got him good. He's pulling out all these like tissue paper and stuff, which is the like fake money. But yeah, there's like a little scene where they like split up to divide the money later. And yeah, the clocks all go off at that point when they're like just seeing how much money they got. They got like 10,000 off this guy.
Yeah.
Which it's going to be a problem later. But anyway, Hooker doesn't mind at the moment. He takes his share and goes off and he buys a fresh new suit.
Love this suit.
Yeah, it's like a maroon or burgundy like pinstripe suit. Very extreme. Get some gifts for a lady that he's sweet on as well. Goes down to the strip show to go and see her and take her out on a date.
Now this was when I had to strategically like lower my screen a little while I was in the blood drive because I was like, oh yeah, like this is like we've discussed, like great for kids, but it does look weird if a guy's just watching this.
Yeah, that's kind of fair. There's just like an old timey strip show. It's like I need this to get my blood pressure up so I can donate more blood. Okay,
that's the blood pumping.
Oh God. I hope that's not what the truth would be. Jesus.
Oh no.
But anyway, yeah, like he's here to see this girl, and everyone's commenting on his suit, like asking if he's getting married and stuff, which is hilarious. Because they're not used to him like looking as good as he is.
Yeah.
But apparently, like this is classic Hooker stuff, and that like he always blows everything that he gets all at once. It's just something that he does. It's like part of his character traits, I guess.
Yeah, because he takes his gal out on a date.
Yes, Crystal is her name.
Crystal. He goes down to the like gambling place.
Yeah, it's just like a dive bar, I think. It's like, but they've got like a roulette table down there. And yeah, he like drops like $3,000 on black. Or red, I can't remember. But he drops it all on one spot anyway. And they're like, oh shit, we can't take that kind of deal here. But the big heavy comes over and he's like, take it. And he's like, okay.
Old 1930s Hagrid.
Yeah, he's in the background, like getting greedy for that money. The bet taker guy, I don't actually know what the name of the person in charge of a roulette table was called. Like the
dealer?
I guess, but there's no cards. It doesn't make any sense, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, he presses a wee little buzzer button thing under the table that makes it so that he wins the roulette.
Yeah.
I don't know how they set this up, but he does some.
They have it as well in Leprechaun 3, if that's any help.
Okay, this must just be a well-known cheat at roulette, apparently, if it's in multiple movies.
But there must be like several switches, right?
I guess so.
Depending on how they bet.
Yeah, like red or black X number or whatever. It's just got a whole like keypad underneath of the table with all the different slots. Amazing. A very complicated mechanism, that roulette
like
table.
A little Flintstones style octopus that's like pressing the buttons. And like, it's 11.
Very good. It's like Bill Bailey inside the piano in that one episode of Black Books, just doing all the work. Amazing. But yes, anyway, the girl's very upset that he's blown his entire share. This is like...
Fair enough.
Yeah, this shitty behaviour on Hooker's part. He doesn't seem that upset by it, but whatever. She says, next time you want to spend $50 on me, mail it, which is just great dialogue.
Very, like, of the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of really snappy dialogue in this movie, and a lot of it was like researched based off what like actual con men and things say, like all the slang terms that they use later on.
That's awesome.
Like calling people the Quill, like these boys need to be the Quill, like they need to be like top notch, I guess. Like all this stuff was like heavily researched by the director of the film.
Yeah, even the names, like Kid Twist is based on a kid something.
That's awesome.
For the day. Yeah.
It really, really sells the whole, like, you're going into, like, a strange world, you know? Like, you're diving into a well-established world. It's cool.
Have you been conned?
Have I been conned?
Yeah.
Not that I know of, so maybe, but,
Ooh.
I've definitely robbed, but I haven't been conned. Yeah, just, like, muggings and stuff more than anything, but hey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know,
fun,
like, the best
like,
cons,
I've been conned,
you don't know if you
like,
get conned.
Yeah. I got the old, this is such a Gareth Blackler
You've been
story.
conned?
I was buying an iPod Nano.
Okay.
Yeah, I was buying an iPod Nano. Have I lost you? Cool young person. I was buying an iPod Nano secondhand, and I needed to get cash out, and I put my card into an ATM. This is all ancient stuff.
Yeah, nobody knows what you're talking about anymore.
I couldn't get it out because someone had stuffed a receipt in the ATM thing.
Oh, right.
Yes, and then this is where I think someone might have been trying to layer on the con, because someone came up and knew all about it. Like, he was like, oh, they've done the old put the receipt in there trick.
Right.
But then he didn't, like, send me away or anything. He just, like, stood with me while I called my bank and cancelled the charge.
Oh, that's kind of cool of that guy. Maybe he was just, like, a good person, like, coming to help you out.
He must have been, but, like, obviously, you know, with a con, you want there to be, like, some sort of game.
That's true, yeah. Like, maybe there was some kind of extended con. He had, like, a very short window where he could use your card for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. Well, I guess we'll never know. It's the perfect con is the one where you don't know if you've been conned, so...
Yeah.
Well,
Will you feel like your life's been made better, but you've actually been conned? Such a good con.
Ingenious.
Oh, yes.
That's just called being a good person, I think.
That's the real con.
If you get conned into, like, having a better life, there's just helpful people out there. I like that. Reverse con.
I think next time I help someone, I'm going to pretend I'm conning. Got him again.
It's a great energy. You just start using all kinds of weird slang that they don't understand. Keep tapping your nose. Good stuff. Anyway, yes, after this scene plays out, good old, what's his name, takes the money to Luther's. Hooker does. He takes the money down to Luther's, their shares. He splits it with Erie and Luther here. Meanwhile, we get a cut across to Lonergan's like casino thing, and we find out this Mottola guy, the guy from the intro, has like been found in some kind of like drinking his soul away, in some bar because he got robbed and is about to like get screwed over. This cut to the casino and scanning across, it aligns perfectly with the tempo change in Time's vocals, which is really like serene. It's like, ooh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lonergan's like no nonsense, and he's like, we gotta chase these people down. So he sends some boys after the grifters here.
Is this when we meet Lonergan's henchman?
Yes.
His like main bodyguard?
Yes, his main boy, Floyd, is here.
Yeah.
In my notes. Yeah, that's his name. I've mentioned in my notes that he has a crazy face. His like facial features are just so strange looking. He looks great. Like it's a really cool like caricature style face, but man, love him.
Do you
good old
think
Floyd.
he looks exactly like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah, a little bit. I think he's got like a little bit like Neil Patrick Harris kind of in him as well. But he's got like a really big like wide nose as well. I love him. I love Floyd and what he's all about. And he's just like he's like one of Lonergan's like heavies basically, like his second in command guy, and so follows him around all the time. So we get a lot of good Floyd just staring down the lens
Yes.
in this movie. So we get a great look at his face, and I'm thrilled to see him. Great performance.
Yeah, great face, great performance.
That's right.
And very good at playing the bass.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Just down at the dives. Yeah, he's there with the boys. I doubt he's.
I was so obsessed that this was Flea that I looked it up, and Flea was only 11 years old at the time. So.
Oh well.
And his father was not an actor.
Well, there you go. That's a damn shame. It was pre-Flea.
Pre-Flea.
Never mind. All right. Great Gig is here. It's starting up as he orders them hunted down and killed over a Great Gig beginning. So it's like, ooh, things are going bad. We see Luther's family here starting up, and they're like Erie and Luther. They're like playing the mahjong, getting the pay from old mate. It's so tricky remembering all these names. Hooker. Yeah, so they're playing mahjong, and the rest of the family like head out to a like late church service thing. They like leave the scene so that they aren't in danger for a future scene. But yeah, Luther's like saying that he's got to get out of this business. Basically, he reveals the Hooker reveals first that he blew all his money away. And he's like, oh my god. But Luther is like, I'm going to get out. I'm going to get involved in an honest business. And in plot terms, this is an absolute death sentence. It's like 2 days from retirement kind of stuff here.
One last heist.
Yeah, it's like, oh no. I can see where this is going. It's at this point, Luther gives Henry Gondorf's name to Hooker here to go down and see him in Chicago if he wants to keep conning people because he's going to need a new partner. And then the money is starting up, and Snyder rocks up. This is like the crooked cop character. He's here to put the shakedown on Hooker because he's found out that he's like gotten this huge amount of money. So like takes some money from him as like protection, I guess. It's like typical, it's a typical shakedown on him. Reveals, old mate Hooker reveals that he gave him counterfeit money. And so Snyder's gonna not be happy with that.
No one wants counterfeit money.
No, this money's no good.
Except for, unless they're like building their homemade Monopoly set.
Yeah. But they're building it like in the Quiet Place. I need more counterfeit money for my game. But he's not going to be happy about that. So like, Hooker like runs off because if Snyder knows about it, then he realizes that everybody's going to know about it.
Yes.
So he's like, oh shit, I've got to check in on my boy Luther. Runs into like a payphone, like pulls this old ass lady out of the payphone, who's furious. Calls up Luther. There's no answer at the other end, and we're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Poor old Eerie gets like beaten by this woman into the payphone, which is hilarious.
And she's just like saying like, because it's so good with subtitles because you missed it the first time. She's just saying like, I want my nickel back.
Yeah. And who doesn't?
Exactly.
Red Hot Chili Peppers and Nickelback together again. She just wants her change back from the old phone. Oh, this poor woman.
Yeah.
Fair enough. She's got small time problems. These boys, they got big time problems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, unfortunately, by the time that he gets back, Luther's been thrown out the window and is dead.
Yeah. We get the descending scale of money when he sees the window.
Yeah.
Very matchy.
Very dramatic. Yeah, these, like, at the bottom, they've obviously roughed him up a bit, and yeah, it's lying in the street. And Hooker has to, like, run away, otherwise he's going to get found out too. It's very sad here at the end of Money.
Yeah.
But yes, that's the start of this film, and then we get our, like, first, like, title card thing. These starts showing up throughout the movie, like, breaking the story into, like, chunks here.
Yeah.
And so this first one's the setup. So it's all like, they're all in terms of like the con coming together. So this is like the start of the big con for the movie. I also want to comment at this juncture, Gareth, that this movie is set in Chicago for the rest of the movie, Chicago, Illinois. And we're getting some like really, really nice like hand painted backdrops for these like big scenes. Right. Yeah, because, like, obviously this movie wasn't filmed in Chicago. It was just, like, all kind of, like, backlot of Hollywood. Kind of stuff. But, like, yeah, that means we get these, like, really, really stunningly put together, like, fake, painted backdrops. And they're just gorgeous. They're, like, there's several throughout the film, and I just could watch them all day. They're really, really nice. Just wanted to mention that.
I feel like we've even talked about this on the show, but like the idea that those get painted and then they just go somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're probably just like hiding somewhere and like in the backlots of Hollywood somewhere. Like
exactly.
So nice. Maybe hopefully they make their way to a museum or something at some point. You know.
Yeah.
That's the dream. Yeah, okay, back to the plot. Old mate, Hooker shows up at the combination funhouse whorehouse here.
Oh, is that what it also is?
Yeah, it's like, downstairs I think they're running like a standard like family-friendly funhouse operation. That's why there's like a carousel and like various foods on offer on signs and things. So I think that's what happens on the downstairs, but on the upstairs it's like like ladies of the night working away up there, you know?
I completely missed that, but that does explain all the like scantily dressed ladies riding the merry-go-round.
Yes. If you didn't catch that would be a very confusing scene. But yeah, Billy is here, one of the very few like female roles in the movie, who absolutely kills it, by the way. She's fantastic as this like hostess lady. But yeah, she like directs Hooker to go find Henry, who's like upstairs in his wee like little apartment room, completely passed out down the side of the bed.
Yeah, tucked away nicely.
I've 100% done this. I've been like drunk enough that I've fallen out the side of the bed and just woken up on the floor.
Whoa.
Yeah, bad times. It's not good. But old mate Gondorf does have some handy tricks to get over a hangover.
Yeah.
Which is good. What's his name? Hooker's solution to a hangover, not very kind. Putting him in the shower with his clothes on.
Yeah.
Just, Gondorf doesn't appreciate it. Keeps, like, shouting abuse at him. They aren't hitting it off here at the start. But,
no, the two friends.
Yeah, the two friends. Yeah, like, Hooker, like, shoves him in there and is like trying to be like, you're a drunk. I already know how to be drunk. I can't learn anything from you.
Great line.
Yeah, really great. But Gondorf like is still like getting a sense of how things work. He goes and grabs like the biggest chunk of ice
Yeah, right?
It's like huge, like the size of his face, this piece of ice that he just has on call, I guess, for when he goes on these like drunken benders.
Yeah.
But yeah, he takes it over to the sink and like stabs it several times with like a fork or something, or like something with prongs anyway, and then like just dunks his face into the ice to wake himself up. Ah, amazing. What an
Ice would be hard to get in the 1930s, right?
yeah, I would assume so. Like it would be pretty tough, probably quite expensive. But yeah, like anyway, he needs it to wake himself up. Oh, poor bugger.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yes. What happens next, Gareth? I'm trying to put it together.
Yeah, we're meeting the us of the film over us and them, so that's kind of
That's pretty good. Yeah, we're finding the us. Yes, and then we're going to transition to them. Old Lonergan's playing a bit of golf.
Yeah.
Here he is. He's getting informed of the goings on re the grifters. Like, he's like, we got one of them. Like Luther got killed, and so informs him of that. He's like, sweet, hunt the rest down. He's like says this like really intense thing about like if this guy finds out that I lose to a grifter, then my reputation's completely tarnished. He's like cutthroat, ruthless, no nonsense guy, you know?
So evil and so like legitimately scary, but so dressed in like lovely yellow golf gear.
Yeah, very true. Very dissonant in this part of the film for sure. He's like a generally like terrifying character. I don't think we haven't seen him like move around yet, but like he's got this like crazy limp that he just is like apparently not an affectation. Like he had like an actual injury, but like man, like it's so weird. It's like it really adds to this terrifying, angry ass Irish man.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like. You've got to give it to Robert Shaw that he plays unlikable so well. Like you don't like him in Jaws, but you like the character's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, totally. He nails it.
In this, you just like you want him to lose.
You do.
And it runs in the family because his grandson played an incredibly unlikable character. He played Artemis Fowl in the new Artemis Fowl.
Oh, damn. That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's such a shame. I really wanted that movie to be good because those are really good books, but like it was set up to fail. They'd like they had the same kind of thing as like Legend of the Sword, I guess, or like Speed Racer, and that they just like development hell kind of messing with the script. And like, came together terribly, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to talk about Artemis Fowl in the house anymore because I got too mad.
Oh no.
I got too grumpy.
Oh, we better move on then. We're going to cut back to Gondorf. He's like, he runs the carousel downstairs. That's his like low-key job here. He's in hiding for like a grift that went wrong earlier. And so yeah, he's running this carousel. So that means we get some really sweet like spinning shots of the carousel in operation and things like that throughout the movie.
Unfortunately, I didn't find any of them really worked with the Pink Floyd.
Nah, it doesn't. Carousel music doesn't really align with what Pink Floyd's trying to put across.
No, very good point.
If it was in slow motion, I feel like we could get there.
Yeah,
but unfortunately not. Not at the time. Slow motion would have been a bit jarring, I think, for a like 1970s film as well. Anyway, but hey.
One day we'll watch a whole film at half speed to see if it syncs, but that's not right now.
Wow. All right. I guess we can sign on for that one. Hopefully a short film. Man.
Yeah.
It's like going to be like 4 hours otherwise. Whew.
Oh,
that's a lot of
Floyd.
4
hours of like draining movement.
That's like up. Oh, yeah. We'll maybe watch Speed Racer in slow motion. That might be interesting.
Yeah.
Do
you think our audience would want another like 2 hours of Speed Racer?
I don't know. You tell us, audience. Get at us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, Gondorf's like he's trying to. Hooker's trying to convince him to like get him in on a big con. He wants to do the big con on Lonergan, get his own back for revenge. And he says a great line here. He says, "I don't know enough about killing to kill him." So I
like that line a lot.
Yeah, he wants to like use his skills. You know. He wants to get revenge, and the only way that he knows how to do that is through a con. So, here we are. Anyway, Gondorf signs on. He's like, he knows it's going to be bloody tricky, because he says that it has to be the kind of con where he doesn't even know he's been conned, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like vital to the craziness that goes on in this film, but it's like mentioned in this one like throwaway line.
Yeah.
You know, you forget. I think like because they don't really dwell on it, but like the point is that like he can't know that he's been tricked and out of money. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
In order to orchestrate that, it's going to be really really tough. But anyway,
yeah.
Gondorf's into it. He's going to do it. He says that he can assemble like a small army of people to help because they all want to help after Luther got killed, which is quite sweet.
Yeah, and it's a legit army of people. Like,
yeah, it's like they get a fuck ton of people. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
I want to know what everyone's take is.
Yeah, it'd be pretty interesting. Well, it's like they get like a lot of money in the end. So like in 1936 money, it's pretty insane. So yeah, I imagine it's like all worked out ahead of time. So yeah,
The Sting 2 was just the contract negotiations.
Oh yeah, there is a sequel to the Sting. I've never seen it.
No way.
Yeah, there is a Sting 2 that was made, but yeah, I've never seen it. Don't know anything about
Sting
it.
2, harder.
Oh god, the sharpest
Sting 2, stung. That sounds good.
Stung. It's got Sting from the Police in it. That's not true. But yeah.
So, like, there's a character later, or I guess she's been introduced in this opening credits.
Yeah.
Who I was certain, again, with one of my fool's errands,
Sure.
I was certain this was Meryl Streep.
Oh.
And so I was like, it's gotta be. So I, again, looked this up.
Is this the waitress character, Loretta?
Yes.
Yeah. And she does have kind of a Meryl Streep, or like, I kind of got like a Cher vibe as well.
Yes. Maybe that's more right.
Yeah. She's gorgeous and fantastic in the movie as well. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
All I got, though, was photos of her hanging out with Sting from the Police, and it made me laugh so hard, the idea of calling him the Sting.
Yes, that's the only way we're going to refer to him now.
Yes.
The Sting, there he is.
He'll come up.
The Sting, from the Police. Oh, the Sting from Police?
He wrote the song The Roxanne.
The Roxanne, It's great. The Roxanne. Oh my god.
We like this show.
I'm glad, we're heavily invested. Anyway, yeah, Gondorf's going to get the team together, and we have like a little Guy Ritchie-ass montage now of Hooker, like he gets like a makeover, of, like gets a new suit, he's like being a creeper with the like the little nail salon person here, because it's 1936. Anyway, we transition into Any Color You Like over this sequence, and like then like Gondorf's going around like assembling the team of people for putting together this operation, and he's doing the like most obvious nose touching ever. It's so cartoon and funny as fuck. I love it. It's like just he's tapping his nose and like banks and things.
The bank teller who like sees him and freaks out and just closes his bank and walks away.
Sorry, I have to go. I'm required for the Sting at once. Oh, so good. I wish like more of this happened in films. It's just so silly. Anyway, there's going to be like a big meeting with all these guys, and so Hooker puts like a wee tab of paper inside his door so that he knows if anyone will go in while he's absent. I've done this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to check if someone was like an ex-flatmate was going into my room. I used this knowledge from the Sting and found out that indeed people were going into my room.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question about this off mic.
Okay. But yeah, there you go, paying off the Sting. So we're having the meeting now, and they're figuring out like all this information about him, like what his interests are, what he does. Basically trying to figure out where they can hit him,
Yeah, where are his weak points?
And Kid Twist is here. This is his first scene. He offers up the two guys. He shows these two like pictures of the guys that killed Luther and hands them over to Hooker here. I don't think this comes back, but I think it's like these are the guys to like watch out for. If you see these guys around, like look out.
No, because these guys both turn up again after Hooker. like looking for him.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so they do like they are on hunting for him. So yeah, but it's cool that Kid Twist like knows exactly who they are, like through this like research and stuff that they've done. They talk about how Lonergan's like very vindictive and like scary as hell. He's already killed the guy who got scammed in the intro. He's dead now. Poor guy. It's like honest mistake. He just got grifted and then like damn, sucks.
It couldn't have happened to a nicer sexist.
Yep. Well, there you go. That's all the decency you get on this podcast. We're going to move right on. Bloody Sneaking Snyder is showing up in the bar as well.
Yeah. Sorry. So this is the end of the first playthrough, right?
It is, yeah. This is,
Yes.
We're wrapping up as he's showing up.
So do you want to feel incredibly worried about me?
Okay. What have you done?
Exactly when the album ended was when my blood donation ended.
Whoa. Whoa. Has your body synced with Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon? Is that what the next episode is? Just Gareth's like motor functions. Do they sync with Dark Side of the Moon? Find out after the break.
We've hired like a team of crack scientists to watch me.
Oh yeah. You'll never know, though. It's part of the con. I'm just trying to look after you, Gareth.
Oh, at least I'm your boy.
Yeah.
And we also the album ends on Kid Twist kind of like raising his eyebrows to go like, how about that album?
Yeah, how about that? Crazy. He's got a lot of good eyebrow game, Kid Twist. He's very expressive face as well. Like, big Colonel Sanders energy. I love him. Very great. But yeah, Snyder's here. He's showing up at the house, and he's like wanting to look around for Hooker. He sniffed him out here to Chicago. It's like crazy. It's hot on the trail. But yeah, Billy, the owner and proprietor of this establishment, deflects him with some like snazzy line about the chief of police being here, which is pretty funny. Like, if you search all the rooms, you run into the chief of police. No. Don't want to get in trouble with him. But yeah, that like gets him off the scent, I guess.
Yeah.
So
it's too spooked.
Yeah, we cut back to the meeting, and the gang has decided to like they've got to like hook Lonergan into their like scheme, and so they like are going to do this like poker game on board a train. It's also revealed that Lonergan cheats at this poker game, which is going to be used to great effect as well. And Gondorf is like stoked for this, which because he gets to have like his great scene in this movie. So I'm well on board with this.
When your two hobbies come together like that, you gotta love it.
Yeah, they also name the con that they're gonna pull on him, which is called The Wire, which is apparently like an actual con that happened. Like this was like played on people, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, it's like apparently like 10 years old at this point in the film, but like that's why he's not going to know that it's a con because like no one's done it in ages, which is kind of funny.
So my question about The Wire. So The Wire works like you announce the winners, or you announce a horse race slightly later.
Yeah.
To give people the chance to bet on someone who already won.
Yes.
And they're double doing it in that they're going to feed him slightly wrong information. But, like, were the horse races real?
The horse races are real, yeah. Like they get this like machine thing in that like reads out all the horse races, like a ticker tape kind of thing, which they would actually use like at a real bookies and things. But like they hold that information for as long as they need to like pull the con off, basically. So that like if Gondorf Lonergan read the paper the next day, he would see that these races were real and like the outcomes of those races and things like that. Yeah. So
I forgot about the paper. I was like, well, you can't check the internet.
Yeah, that's what like JJ is doing in that room. He's like checking through that like crazy machine and reading out all the numbers and stuff. That must be like the most stressful part of the whole thing, I would say.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's incredible. But we're gonna get there.
What role would you want to play in The Wire?
In The Wire? Oh, I want to be like what Erie's doing. His like one of the like the fucking like players in this room. It's just like big community theater. in there.
Yes.
It's very fun.
Like, we're jumping ahead, but there's the best, like, old man auditioning, and he puts on his little fake beard and everything.
I love that guy. He's
so good.
So good. The kindest old man to be
Yeah.
like an old con man.
And he's, like, so excited when he gets his chance to act in front of Lonergan.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
Oh.
he makes his wee cameo as one of the big high rollers here. Oh, what a great guy! But yes, before that, we get another title card, Gareth. It's the Hook, and we get like a big picture of the steam train here. Yes, we gotta get Lonergan on the hook before we can get to the Sting. All right.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah, we're like checking in the at this part. Before we get to the train though, we've got to check out like the warehouse and everything. Where this is where the Sting is going to happen. They like book this whole room and turn it into like a fake bookies.
Yeah, again, the effort and money. This is like
Lindsay
Lindsay Lohan's pranks.
It's a big con, man. This is the big con. They get like they put in a huge amount of money to make an insane amount of money. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, I think Kid Twist is like bankrolling this whole thing, like because he's the one talking to Eddie here, going around like it's like I'm gonna need like a room across the street that I can watch everything happening as well, and that's how like they're gonna know that Lonergan's coming, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It's very complicated.
Oh yes.
But yeah, yes, and then we get Gondorf and Hooker are like boarding the train. And they like bribe the conductor so that they can get into the poker game. Not super important, but like yeah,
It's a fun scene though. Like that'll get you on the bench. And gives them slightly more. And it's like okay.
Yeah, first alternate. All right, I'll take you on.
Yeah,
pretty good. But yeah, yes. Then we go to the like con man bar, Gareth.
Yes.
We've got to gather up some boys for this con. The players, as we were talking about. They're all here, chilling in the bar. Erie's here as well. Everyone's the boss man says everyone's pretty keen to help out because Luther's been killed, and they're like already like raising money for that family to like get them through, which is very sweet. It like brings this like this camaraderie to these con men, which is quite nice.
Yeah, do you think that was accurate? Do you think the con men of the time were?
I don't know. I don't think
after each
so.
other?
I think it's probably being painted in a far kinder light than it actually was, but who's to say? Bloody Snyder shows up again. He's here at the bar. He's found out where Erie is and like roughs him up, like slams his face into the desk. Messed up.
He's walking around like he can hear Pink Floyd playing, but we know Pink Floyd wouldn't play for him.
No, I don't. Yeah, they wouldn't. They wouldn't play for you, Snyder. You bastard! Get out of here. Oh, he's listening to like off-brand midis, like anything that he can get his grubby paws on down at the station. Get out of here, Snyder. But yes, my next note is just the crazy names of all these con men, Gareth, because I caught them all because they're
Thank
so
you.
good.
I was trying to catch them.
I went back especially to grab these because I just love dumb names. They're so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Horseface Lee, Slim Miller, Suitcase Murphy, The Big Alabama, Crying Jonesy, The Boone Kids, Dippy Burke, and Limehouse Chappie. Those are the available con men. He says these are the ones just in the bar.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And it's so good, like the names in this film, because then later the horses are named, I wrote these down. Bubblesome.
Yep.
Lady Higloss. Barbara A.
Yep.
And Peerless Pal.
Amazing. There's very little separation between these horse names and these con men names.
Yeah.
It's great stuff. Oh man. What would your con man name be? If you were gun to your head, if you were a part of a con, what would you be? What would you choose if you could?
I like the ones that are named after like body parts.
Okay.
If it was called Fingers, it would imply I'm real good at stealing, which I don't think I would be.
Okay.
Probably like Elbows.
Elbows Blackler.
Yeah,
all
Elbows right. McGlinty or something. What about you?
I'll be Eyebrows. Eyebrows Barron. Elbows Blackler and Eyebrows Barron.
Perfect.
And we're like
Two
a,
friends.
we're like a duo that come. We are a package deal.
Yeah.
Elbows and eyebrows. Yeah, love it. Okay.
Uh,
Anyway, cut back to the train now. We're like back to the plot. Gondorf's like getting ready to cheat. He gets like a fake deck that he can use and like rub some gin on his face
yes.
to pretend that he's drunk. This is a pretty sweet trick. He like empties out half the gin bottle and fills it up with water so that he can pretend that he's like smashed and keep drinking at the time as well. It's like some classic like poker playing stuff where you pretend to be like way off your guard and then have great hands and play really well. Yeah, pretty smart.
Oh yeah.
But yes, we're back. On the Run is starts playing as Billy swipes Lonergan's wallet as he's going in. Here, like, which is all part of the plan. They use his own money to bet in this poker game, which is just such a cheeky little thing.
So smart, yeah.
So good. Yeah, and then he's showing off some like fancy little card tricks and things that he's got as well.
Yeah, killing it really to On the Run with those hand tricks.
Yeah, loving that. Very good.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so Gondorf like then he walks into the poker game as Shaw. So I'm going to refer to him Shaw for the remainder of the scene.
Okay.
Because that's his.
It's tough because he's acting against Robert Shaw, but you know.
Yeah, that is complicated. Well, I may well just keep calling him Gondorf. I don't know, but he's his alter ego here is Shaw, and later on Hooker's alter ego is Callie.
Yeah.
For the sting, the operation here. Yes.
Gosh, it's confusing because the actor's alter ego for the Sting, the movie.
Oh my god! I'm playing the guy playing the other guy. Woo! But yeah, he shows up at the card table right as the clocks go off as well, which is very nice.
Yeah.
And in the background, the wire part of the plan's still going on. There's like the bookies are being put together, and the Kid Twist is doing the interviews. And this is where we see your favorite bearded man.
His specialty's an Englishman.
Yes. He like strokes his moustache as he says it. What a guy. Oh my god, I love it. And like Eerie shows up as well, and he's just like, oh, I just want to help out because Luther was my boy. And like Kid Twist had saw the whole thing go down because he was at the bar. He was like, you got moxie, kid. Grab a suit. Get involved. It's so good.
Kid Twist is even supplying their suits. What a
baller.
What a guy.
So good. I want to know Kid Twist. I want to get to know him. Get on his good side. So bloody Gondorf, he starts cleaning up at the poker table. Taking these boys down and being incredibly rude the whole time. Like,
yes, keeps getting Lonergan's name wrong.
He gets everyone's name wrong, but Lonergan's like getting fucking furious.
Yes.
He like swipes his gin out of his hand after losing one of the poker hands as well.
Yeah.
Which is like a bit sketchy because if like Lonergan has a sip of that gin, he knows he's going to be like, oh, he's cheating, or like he's not as drunk as he says he is, or whatever. But anyway, he's like Gondorf's like pushing people out of this game. And so Longorn, they like, oh my god, I just said his name, Lonergan, so badly there. Oh, Gondorf Lonergan. Lonergan, he like plans to like cheat him out of the game with one hand and like a stacked deck here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we cut back to the game and we see the players' hands here. So that we, like, the whole hand plays out. Like, Gondorf's got 4 3s, Lonergan's got 4 9s, so he has him beat. And so, like, he bids him up like crazy, but Gondorf, like, cheats in the background when we aren't looking and has 4 jacks all of a sudden and wins the hand.
Yes. Yeah.
He, like, counter cheats. So good. And
like little Floyd does a like perfect little gasp in time with the soft like ooh.
He does. He's like ooh. Oh, sweet little Floyd. This is his best moment because we just see his shocked wee face.
Oh, he's such a good little chap.
But yeah, Lonergan can't like accuse him of cheating here in the moment because he was cheating himself. So if it gets found out that he had a stacked deck, then like the whole poker game's forfeit and that'll like ruin his reputation. So he can't do that. So Lonergan's like, fuck, okay, I guess I gotta pay him. And then he realizes his wallet's been stolen. And so he's like, Gondorf like slags him off for that. and like he says he'll send someone to his room to collect the money in 5 minutes, and this turns out to be Hooker as Kelly here.
Yeah.
And this is where the real Hook comes in. Kelly's like sympathetic to him and is saying that he wants to take over Shaw's operation. He's got a plan to get rid of this guy, and you'll be able to get your money back as well. You know, sounds too good to be true, but hey,
Hey. I guess you get him when
he falls for it. He's on the hook.
Yeah, he's got pride.
Yeah,
He's
it's
such
like,
a pride
fuck.
man.
Yeah, big time. That's what they're playing into, like his anger in the moment and like the pride. He wants to get this guy back as soon as possible, you know? Yeah, anyway. So poor Kelly, like they don't even have to return his money because he's like, he took the money, I can't give it back to you, what am I going to do? And so, yeah, it's pretty smart. So they make off with his money. That's like a quick, clean robbery at the start as well, funding the sting operation against him as well. Pretty good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so anyway, they hook him, they get him, and he's gonna meet with Hooker. I was like, I'm gonna take you home. And like Lonergan's catchphrase throughout the movie is "You follow," which is very strange. He says it multiple times, and it's not overly threatening, but he says it a lot. It's pretty.
Oh, he probably thinks it's way more threatening than it is.
You follow?
You follow?
Pretty fun. But yeah, so he returns home. Hooker goes home and he sees that the little tab that he put in his door has fallen out. He's like, "Oh shit!" And that means that there's hitmen in his house, and they chase him out into the street where he gets away by like holding onto like the weirdest vehicle I've ever seen.
It's like a 1930s street cleaner, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what this is because it's like middle of the night kind of thing. But yeah, it's very odd looking, and he just like clings onto the side of it like a limpet, and then that's how he gets away. Very comedic.
It's like a perfect him size.
Yeah, it really is. He's barely hidden. And we see like the hitmen looking around like, where'd he go? I can't get him. Yeah, it's pretty fun. But yeah, we're back to the fake bookies at the end of this sequence, and Hooker's like, it was all good, went off without a hitch. She doesn't reveal that like hitmen are after him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The next title card appears, The Tale, which is one that I like always forget here. This is like they spin like a yarn to Lonergan, I guess, to like keep him on the hook and get him involved. So they've got to prove that this scam that he's involved in works one time, so that he'll believe it and will put in more money, I guess, is the idea. Yeah. So he's like really pissed. Lonergan's really pissed that the real Hooker got away because he doesn't know that Kelly is Hooker. And so he's like, I'll send my best assassin, Celino, to deal with it. And the guy that he's talking to is like, really? Do you want to do that? And he's like, all right. Yes. Don't question my authority. Now give me the books.
This scene starts with my favorite thing as well, where the guy who like runs the books stands up to shake Lonergan's hand, and Lonergan just ignores him.
Yeah.
So good.
He's such a bastard. Put him right at the top of the baddie board.
Whoa. I'll agree.
Yeah, he's almost obscuring the letters in baddie. He's right up there.
In fact, let's get photos of him and cut the letters out, so all the letters of baddie board are made of Lonergan's face.
Oh wow, he is the baddie in baddie board. I like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, as baddie as it gets.
Oh yes.
Shout outs to you, Robert Shaw, for crushing it. But yeah. Anyway, sending Celino on it, who we don't know who they are, but we're getting us and them now as we like pan up to the stakeout apartment above the drugstore where this meeting is going to happen. People are like getting the fake bookies. The fake bookies is like in full operation here. They're all putting on their false beards and shit.
Which weird that they've done that here. They could have done it at home, and then there's not like false beard bags around, but you know.
Yes, they're all in their briefcases, just like false beard glue and things like that. It's
like, what if Lonergan gets too excited and knocks over someone's briefcase and a bunch of moustaches falls out?
I'm a moustache salesman.
I can explain.
It's tough here in the Great Depression. People are selling their moustaches to make a bit of coin. All right.
Oh, yep, you've covered for it.
Yeah, there you go. It's tough. They're like toupees, but for your face. I've got it covered. Yeah, like there's a very sweet scene where our favorite old man like hands Eerie some like makeup for his like fucked up nose.
Yeah.
Ah, so sweet. I hope that Eerie like just like this is his role from now on. He's just doing this like community theatre part of the grift.
Yes. He's kind of the opposite of the old man as he's like gets into the acting and goes legitimate as opposed to gets into acting and plays an Englishman in different cons.
Yeah, that's my hope for Eerie. He gets out in that way. Yeah. It's so good. Anyway, yes. There's the meetup that happens. Here we can like see the whole thing play out, right? What's his name? Hooker like says to Lonergan, like explains what's going to happen, like gives him a call. He was going to receive a call in the drugstore, and then he has to go and place a bet down at Shaw's place, and then and the race is a sure thing, and he'll get the money, and you'll see.
Yeah,
and so all that plays out. As soon as Lonergan starts walking towards the place to bet, Kid Twist is up in the apartment and presses a wee button to warn them that they're coming. And like that's when JJ starts reading out all the stuff on his little ticker tape machine thing, like pretending to be the like radio announcer, I guess, for the races. And like
I love that after he's done this, he like collapses in exhaustion.
Oh my god, yeah. It's like he's like flat out. This is definitely not what he's used to. He's like a regular con man, I guess, but like he's just this is his part. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, like everyone just sort of relaxes when this whole thing is over. It's pretty fun. But yeah, it goes smooth as butter, basically. Like Lonergan does sit next to Eerie and freaks him out because Eerie like is so sure that Lonergan's like gonna know who he is, and he does this like really weird bit of acting. Oh, it's very fun. But besides that, like it goes off without a hitch. The bet's successful. And Gondorf comes out from behind the like his little screen or whatever to like run the guards and Lonergan out of there. He's like, "You brought your goons here, you gross." He's being like still being like a complete dick to like play up his end of the operation here. Like antagonizing him intentionally. But so it all goes well, and they all like relax after they get out of there. The next bit is like Hooker like explaining the plan to Lonergan, like that he wants to bet like a huge amount of money, and like I think he doesn't have it yet, but he'll get it. Effectively, he's like baiting the trap, being like, "This is the amount of money that I'm gonna need later from you," like to like pull this off. Pretty smart. Yeah, like explains like the Western Union side of this plan, which is where the bits are like relayed through the like telegraph office, basically.
Yes, we discussed the like delay that they can just take advantage of. Yeah,
which is like actually what they're doing, which is pretty clever. Like it's a real part, but he doesn't know that it's even further delayed. That like he's getting played at the same time. Like Lonergan is, pretty clever. But unfortunately, Lonergan's like, "I want to meet your partner. I've got to meet this like Western Union guy if I'm going to be part of this plan," which like really complicates things. Because now they need to pull like a Western Union person out of nowhere, which is pretty tricky. Bloody brain damage is starting up as we see like someone with black gloves in a car who's like tailing Hooker. Who is this sinister black-gloved person, Gareth? Oh my gosh.
Customer.
Time will tell.
It's so like old movie that there's just a like unseen person with seen hands.
Yeah, man. It's so scary. Like there's like it like does like a weird like there's like a circle wipe on his hands, you know, as we cut to the next scene. Yeah. There's a lot of like these great circular transitions. I don't know like the official term for that, but it's like it is a wipe, right? Yeah, we're gonna call it that.
Iris. Ooh. Iris wipe.
An iris wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. This show is sponsored by Iris Wipes. Make sure your eyes are clean.
Edit your film, or clean your eyes.
Very important. But yes, after this, bloody Snyder, he finds Hooker. He catches him and like shoves his arm through like a window of a payphone.
Yeah.
And then there's a really fun chase sequence through the Chicago railroads here, the L roads.
Yes. Some parkour, some everything.
Bit of parkour in this film, yeah. He like runs up on the like roofs of things, very fun. All this is fake as well. This is like it's all done on a backlot. I'm pretty sure it's like really cool. A lot of work going into these old movies.
Yes.
Yeah, really sells it. It feels like Chicago. But yeah, he gets away, thankfully, Hooker, and then like runs back to Gondorf and tells him the whole thing. He's like, "Why didn't you tell me that this guy was after you?" And like it could ruin the whole plan. And so this scene awkwardly ends with Gondorf being like, "No, we're gonna have to do something about that." And then it's just like, it's like, okay, cool.
I guess he does.
Yeah, well, I guess. Then we've got the next title card, The Wire, here, which is the name of the con, I guess.
Yeah. I was like, excuse me, we're syncing it to Pink Floyd, not Haim. And everyone laughed.
Oh. Shout out to Haim.
Yeah.
Great bunch of lasses.
Great band.
Yeah. We're getting, Eclipse end of playthrough 2 here as Hooker is at a diner and meets the waitress character that we were talking about before, Loretta.
Yeah, fake Meryl Streep.
Yeah, here
Loretta.
she is. She's great. Yeah, and then like playthrough 3 starts up over this really fun Western Union plan that Kid Twist has come up with. Yeah, Kid Twist and JJ show up as like fake painters and have like forged the signature of someone higher up in the Western Union and have like going to paint this guy's office out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then so they usher this guy out of this office so that they can paint it, and then Kid Twist like takes his painter uniform off and has a full suit on, and they put out like a fake photo of Kid Twist and like some family on the desk, like
which like Lonergan doesn't see.
Doesn't even look at. It's such a like sweet little detail that's put into this though. They like move a bunch of things that could like give it away, give the like whole thing away, because he's only gonna see this office for like the shortest amount of time possible.
Yeah.
But like they put in like all this little stuff to like sell the bit, and it's just so good. Oh.
I would not be surprised if Kid Twist like organized a fake family photo just for this day.
Oh, 100% he did. He would have got off the phone with Hooker like when Snyder showed up, and like immediately booked like this photo session with like 2 other con men that he knows.
Like the little girl, and it's just like a short 40-year-old man.
A grizzled con man wearing a wig. Yeah, absolutely. So good. Anyway, they like out the back door of this office, like they usher it, like Kid Twist is playing the partner in crime of Callie here. And there's like, I'm having the place painted, we've got to go somewhere else if we're going to talk about this. You shouldn't have brought him here, blah, blah, blah. And so they usher him out, and like Kid Twist like speaks into the little what do you call those? The like
intercom.
Intercom, that's the one. Yeah, like it's like, I'm just going out for a minute, darling. Don't hold in all my calls. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And that like they get out of there, and then the painter guy, JJ is the painter guy, like collects all the incriminating evidence and just walks out of the room with the room like half painted.
This like really weird like dark green as well.
Oh, it's so funny and so good. I love this little scam. It's so clever and tidy. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
So Breathe is playing over that whole sequence as well, which makes it like just smooth as butter. It's so good. So they managed to convince Lonergan and keep him on the hook basically here through this meeting. Yeah. Which is good. And now we cut to a really weird scene, which all will be revealed later, but Snyder gets picked up by some FBI guys. And they're like, they tell him that they're trying to catch Gondorf in the act. They've been on his trail for a while. And they're tracking him down. And they're going to, all Snyder has to do to help out is to get Hooker and use him to blackmail and catch Gondorf in the act so that they can put him in prison.
Yeah.
Pretty standard stuff. So yes, Hooker's going to be in some hot water soon. The next title card appears, the Shutout. I thought this was like quite a clever sequence as well. The plan to goad Lonergan into placing the really large bet by like making the plan go wrong on purpose.
Yeah.
Is really, really funny and really clever.
And it gets to be our favourite guy. Our little Englishman's delaying him.
Yeah, he's like...
until just after.
Yeah, like lined up at the thing, and they time it like perfectly so that the race starts as soon as he reaches the window so that he can't place the bet. He thinks he's missed out on it. And then like it was like a string bet as well, like a really complicated one where he was placing it on like 3 different horses to get different levels, like 3 fairly out there bets so they could make like a fair bit more money. But yeah, it like goes off like completely as the phone call said it would, and like that really like goads him into doing the big bet. It's great.
Yeah. Just these boys are good at comms.
Yeah, smart. Yeah, like he pulls like Kelly outside and he's like, all right, I'll have the money for you tomorrow or whatever. And so, no, it's like in the next couple days or whatever. But anyway, we cut back to the diner with Loretta, the waitress here. Yeah. And some men show up to try and kill Hooker. And they they cleverly trick the assassin here by he walks out intentionally, runs back to the bathroom, and the assassin chases after him, and then trick him into thinking that he's jumped out the window by having ladies' shoes of Loretta's shoes poking out underneath the stall. He's like, oh, it's just some lady in there, and so he thinks that he's gone out the window. Unfortunately, this is a clever idea, but it doesn't work because Hooker then leaves and
immediately
runs headlong into this assassin. He's like, shit. Yeah. And gets cornered into a little alleyway. And then, it's not looking good. But then he's disappeared. He's gone down into the sewer, Garrett.
That's okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure where he went.
I think they end the shot on a sewer grate. So I'm assuming that is what happens. But yeah, this assassin then gets shot by an unknown assailant. Well, he says, "Oh, Salino. I'm sorry, I wasn't after," and then he gets shot. It's like, oh. Yeah. So Salino...
And it's exactly when the little Pink Floyd sample says, "I am not afraid of dying."
Yeah, pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty worried that at this point in the movie, I think they're playing it that Salino is the black-gloved person who's tailing Hooker.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so... Yes. But yeah, the poor guy gets shot. I guess he's some other rival assassin, but he gets shot anyway. But unfortunately, immediately after this, Hooker gets caught by Snyder, immediately.
Yeah, what a night.
Oh, it sucks. And he takes him down to the FBI guys and blackmail him into helping the FBI catch Gondorf by threatening Luther's family. Very sus.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill them or imprison them or something like that. It's really...
Yeah, they've got enough that if they add it all together, they can pretty much frame them for a bunch of stuff.
It's messed up. So and eventually Hooker agrees. He's like, at the sand end of a great gig, he agrees to play along.
Yes.
Very sad. But yeah, so he's gonna play his part with the FBI, and we cut to Money as Hooker and Gondorf are meeting the night before the sting here. And, Hooker's obviously...
Is this a different night to the one where he's just avoided being shot and everything?
I feel like it's the same night. I want to say, he's, just come back from the FBI thing, I think. And it's it's just he's like, shit, I've got a rat on my friend.
And it's so sweet, them, hanging out playing cards while, Paul Newman's, Gondol's, in bed.
Yeah. He's readying for bed and talking about the good old days in Chicago doing grifts and stuff.
Yeah.
They're
just mates.
Also in this scene, this is where all the ladies are going around on the carousel.
Yeah.
As well. And a really short scene, but maybe the least family friendly part of the movie.
Yeah. The blood donators would have been
whoa. Wowzers, Gareth. This is what Elbows Blackler gets up to, eh? While he's donating blood.
This is how he gets his blood to go on a merry-go-round. That didn't work.
Oh no. But yeah. Anyway, Hooker's like distressed, and so he goes to hook up with the young waitress lady Loretta. Because he's fallen in love with her basically, and he shows up on her doorstep, and apparently all this works.
Yeah.
It's not at all creepy, and yeah, she's like, all right, I'll let you in, and yeah, the money ends as we see both the lads. They're unable to sleep the night before the sting. Yeah, it's just the tail end of that. Going into us and them's chords. Very nice.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, the person in black gloves is also going to bed and like has his gloves on in bed, which is hilarious. It's very cartoony.
Slayed me.
Yeah, it's so good. All right, and now we're here, Gareth. Here it is, the sting. It's on screen.
The sting.
Here we go. Morning is here, and Loretta's missing. The whole apartment is in fact empty. Like, he like looks in the closet. There's like no clothes and stuff in there. It's very weird. But anyway, it doesn't bother Hooker. He goes down to the diner, has a meal. There's like a completely different person working there in the daytime. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, she's not here either. Weird. And yeah, everyone's getting ready. Black Gloves Man readies a silent pistol that he's going to use. Lonergan, he gets a briefcase delivered to his desk with the $400,000 in it. He's ready to place the bet. Yeah, and everyone starts making their way. Hooker, like, he tips off the FBI guys about, like, where to be at the right time on the phone here as well.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like, he heads down to the alley. This is, like, quite a complicated scene to describe. He, like, heads down to the alley of the diner, like, goes out the back door of this place so that he can, like, avoid suspicion or whatever. Loretta, he sees Loretta, who starts walking towards him, and we see the black-gloved man behind him. And we're like, oh no! And then the black-gloved man comes out and shoots Loretta dead in the face. And she falls down. You're like, what the fuck? And then he runs over and reveals that Loretta was Celino. She's Loretta Celino, the top assassin, sent to kill Hooker. Oh my god. And Black Gloves Man was a goodie all along. He was on Gondorf's side. He had hired him to look after Hooker once he found out that, like, what Lonergan's men was after him, you know. So, yeah, he's been, like, protecting him from the shadows, and that's what has been going on this whole time there. So that's good.
Yeah, this made the betrayal cut so much deeper for me. I was like,
oh yeah, right? Like, this
layers
sucks.
to his friendship.
Yeah, like, he's in the cab, like, having this explained to him, and, like, he's only going to, like, betray him in the very next scene, right? Like, oh my god. But anyway, yeah, so the FBI are also on their way to the scene, and they tell Snyder to get the mark out of the way as soon as possible when they show up, because they're like, Lonergan's a fairly high-profile dude, and they don't know what the grifters are going to do once they get in there. So it's like, you've got to get him out of there, because it'll be really bad if he's still there, because they don't want him caught up in all this. Yeah. And so, yeah, Any Color You Like is the song that starts playing as soon as the sting begins, Gareth.
Oh yes.
Lonergan's, he gets...
This is growing on me, this song. This is becoming one of my favorites.
I would say it's the biggest grow of the album, I agree. It's like, it's just sort of a sleeper hit in the background. No one talks about it, but except us.
I originally didn't click it was its own song. I thought it was just a vibey outro for us and them.
Yeah.
Once it clicked, I was like, this is great.
It's pretty smooth. It's like a really cool instrumentally vibe throughout, you know? Yeah, I like it a lot. But yes, it's here we are. Where the sting is about to go down, Gareth. Everybody's here. Lonergan shows up to place his bet. Well, he gets the call down the phone first, and, like, he says, "All right, place the bet on Lucky Dan." You know, that's what is said down the phone. And Lonergan's like, "Okay." So he shows up, and he's like, $400,000 on Lucky Dan to win. And the bookie's like, what the fuck? We can't accept that kind of money. That's crazy. And so he, like, goes and gets Shaw, who is Gondorf, Gondorf as Shaw here, shows up, and it's like, all right, take the bet, because I hate this guy, basically. And tells him to accept the bet. There's a very tense scene as Lonergan's like sitting down to like see that it goes through, you know, and Kid Twist shows up as the partner in crime of Kelly here. He's like, oh, I couldn't wait. I need to know, how are we going? How's the race going? And he's like, I put all the money on Lucky Dan to win. He's like, what? You put the money to win? I said place. So place is to come second. To place rather than to win the race. And so he's like, oh shit, he's like made the wrong bet and he's going to lose. And so Lonergan runs over to the desk and demands his money back. He's freaking out, and this is when the FBI agents burst in.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's like, oh shit, like they throw their hands up in the air. Really, really scary. The FBI agents walk up to arrest Gondorf, and they say, you're free to go, to Hooker. And Hooker's, and Hooker's like, oh shit, like I've betrayed my friend. And he starts to walk away to get out of there, and Gondorf, in a fit of rage, he shoots him in the back, and he goes down, and like in retaliation, the FBI agent shoots Gondorf, and they both go down, and they're like, oh god,
I flipped my wig. I was like, what is happening?
It's wild. You're like, the movie can't end this way. Holy shit. Like...
I think knowing as well it was an Oscar winner from the 70s made me think like, shit, maybe this is just how it ends.
Right? It's pretty crazy. And so the FBI agent like shouts at Snyder. He's like, get him out of here. Get the guy out of here. So like Snyder rushes Lonergan off the scene, who's furious because he's just lost... $400,000. He assumes that the bet is like too far gone now. He's just lost that money. It's just gone, right? And so Snyder takes him away. He's like, you gotta get out of here. It's not safe. You could get shot, you know. And then it was all part of the scheme.
Yeah.
Hooker gets up. It's like got fake blood running out of his mouth. Lonergan, not Lonergan. Gondorf also gets up there. Yeah, they faked the gunshots. The FBI agents also con men.
Yeah.
Did you call this, Gareth?
I did not. I thought like some sort of last minute, I'm gonna fake set you up for the FBI kind of thing might happen.
Yeah.
Or like I'm gonna set you up, but here's how we can get out of it. I did not think all of it was a scheme.
Part of the con, man. It's so good. The best part of this thing is that there's a con going on screen, and then there's also a con going on the audience. Like there's a con being played on the audience, which is so smart. Like they hook you right from the beginning, and then like they get you, and it's all revealed really quickly at the end. Like,
so quickly and so close to the actual end of the movie.
Yeah, it's wild how fast everything wraps up. I guess because they've got to get out of there in case like Lonergan figures this out. But anyway, Lonergan in his mind, he doesn't know that he's lost the 400,000 or whatever, and Snyder also thinks that that Hooker is dead. So it's like they can't chase him anymore. So like it's all folded in perfectly, you know. It's all part of it.
Yeah,
it's ingenious. Such a clever plan, and it's like very much like it's all put together right in front of you. The movie never cheats. Like it's all the moving parts are shown to you, which is so clever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's why it's such a good second watch as well, because you're like, they're not messing around with us. Yeah,
it's great. Like all the scenes where you think that like he's like Hooker's gonna betray Gondorf. Yeah. Like and he's actually not. Like it's all part of the plan. He already knows. It's so good.
And like there's
nothing to give away like that he's genuinely actually scared about like all this stuff coming together. He's not like freaking out about betraying his friend and all this. It's so good. Just so tidy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Like, good work, lads.
Yeah, they're like wrapping everything up. They're like, take this place apart really quick. We got to get everyone out of here. I guess like Hooker and Gondorf are going to go into hiding here. They're just like, I guess...
Hopefully together.
Yeah, because we had a brief shot of the carousel being closed up, I think for good as well. Like, I think they're moving to like a new city or something so that they can't be followed. But yeah, they wrap everything up and Eclipse bloody plays over the credits, Gareth.
Yeah, as soon as the credits start. On an iris wipe as well.
Yeah, we see them walking away together. Old Hooker's like, I'd only throw away my share, so don't worry about
Yeah.
it. In a like twist of fate. He's learned his lesson, I guess. It's not like a major part of it, but he does say that at the end. But yeah, that's it. That's the movie. That's
the sting.
That's the sting, baby. It's a really tidy little film, I think, and yeah, pretty fun throughout. What did you think? How did it sink? Let's go.
Oh, okay. Well, we've talked a lot about this movie. We've talked a lot of amazing, interesting things that happened. A lot of like things that captured our imaginations. One thing we barely discussed was Pink Floyd.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
I don't think the numbers lie. I think it is a low sync.
It is a low sync. It's a low sync. It's sort of tough in that there's a lot to follow throughout this movie, and so like I wasn't so much trying to catch as many syncs as I was trying to get all the details of the plot down in my notes, because holy crap, this is a complicated movie. But yeah, like there were moments of it lining up, like there were some parts that it sunk, but like, and the fact that it ends on like 3 complete plays is pretty nice too.
Yeah, I always enjoy that.
Always like that. So that's not like a complete failing grade, I would say. It's like, we're talking like, what? I want to give it the same grade that we gave Legend of the Sword, like 3 or 4, was that? Or...
Oh, don't quiz me on this.
Okay, I want to give it a 3, regardless of previous ratings, Gareth.
Yeah. That's bad, I've already forgotten, like 2 shows ago.
Hey man, don't worry about it. So, I reckon a 3 is feeling good about that.
Yeah.
Cool. What are we up to next week, Gareth? What are we going to sink? What are we going to do? Tell me.
Well, okay. So this was our most like respected film I think we've covered, you know? It was an Oscar winner.
Yeah, Best
It was
Picture.
from 1973, yeah. So I think it's only right that we go to a film that's incredibly unrespected.
Makes sense.
To the point where this film might actually be illegal.
What? An illegal film? Gareth, are we going to get in trouble for this podcast?
I mean, probably.
Okay.
But, you know, that's why we've covered it with like how anti-cons we are this week.
Okay, yes. We're complete narcs, don't worry, it's fine.
So this is another film from 1973.
Oh, wow, okay.
It also features 2 of the biggest stars teaming up against another big star. This film is called Three Dev Adam. Have you heard of it?
I have not heard of that.
Okay.
Literally,
it translates into 3 big men.
Okay.
And it is El Santo, the legendary wrestler.
Wow, yeah.
Teams up with an off-brand version of Captain America.
What?
To take down the villainous Spider-Man.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
I'm so excited. It's a Turkish film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Spider-Man looks nothing like Spider-Man and has no spider abilities, but...
Great.
Other than that...
El Spidro Gigante. It's good stuff. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very excited for that. Next week.
Me too.
Okay. Oh, yes. Until then, Gareth. Until then.
Oh, gosh. Until then, I've been Gareth Blackler.
Yes, and I've been James Barron.
And hey, guess where we're going to see you? We'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
On the dark side of the moon. Oh, I really wanted to answer your question. Like, hey, guess where I'm going to see you, and just start singing. I really wanted to cut you off. Goodbye.